Here we can see it. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, in the beginning, just to give a context, so this paper is still in the working phase. I will just give you some of my theoretical frameworks, some of my hypotheses, some of my maybe early work that I can share. So feel free to ask if there is some of the maybe if some of the things need more explanation, I would be glad to give you. So my topic is navigating the generative AI revolution, quantitative evidence from advertising and PR agencies in Bosnia and Herzegovina. When I was creating this abstract and this headline, I had a couple of problems and couple of maybe issues that I was dealing with, because my general opinion is that quantitative measurements and quantitative methodology is good when there is, how to say, a stable environment and stable situation around some phenomena. But in the case of the generative AI, is the quite opposite. So for me, it's very challenging to generally treat the main respondents from the agencies, from marketing agencies, because I need to be cautious that I measure the real impact, because in some cases can be problematic, because in the case from the conceptual framework, sometimes what I think as an AI expert about AI and what the people from marketing agency think that AI is, there is huge discrepancy from those fields, because mainly in my region, the problem is that AI is still treated as a so-called quote-unquote chatbot. And from the chatbot perspective, there is so much guardrails and so much hallucinations and so much, how to say, limited work you can achieve. But the chatbot today is just a user interface to communicate with a huge potential, for example, from the case of using the AI agents inside of the marketing field. So that's why I need to just give my predominant position, because that's the very challenging, and that's why I'm still trying to find the main angle and the main method for surveying those fields, because I'm afraid that my work could be for nothing if the people who I'm trying to interview, or in this case to give me their response, that we are speaking about two different worlds. So in the case of generative AI, and I'm speaking about that Gen AI is transforming the marketing and PR landscape globally, I'm coming from the using the use cases or case studies from the global perspective. So there is already so much of the examples of using the Gen AI in the marketing. For example, I have data from Forrester from the last year that in developed markets, 91% of US advertising agencies currently utilize generative AI tools, which 59% applying them to audience insight and media reporting analysis. So you already can see, but it was last year, it was expected, that the major point of using AI or Gen AI in the marketing was in some field that you don't need a Gen AI to be able to get audience insight and media reporting analysis. So we need to understand that, because generative AI is much more powerful than the algorithms from the previous phase where those agencies are. I assume that they was asked in general about AI. So that's why I'm just giving a small distance from those results. You have always, or also you have a campaign examples like major brands, including Heinz, Coca-Cola, Mango, and they all successfully developed AI-powered advertising campaigns. For this particular use case, we don't have any, how to say, usable data or quantitative data on that. So we have it like a case studies, but we don't have a data on percentages of their success, their return on investment, their general transformative power inside marketing agencies, and I'm primarily interested in that. Not so much on the results. I'm more interested in how those technologies generally impacting the workspace and workplace in the same time. We all also have already industry partnerships in between some of the marketing agencies and the huge companies who are behind the AI revolution, such as NVIDIA, as one of the most powerful companies in the world today. In the application areas, we already have papers around application spend content generation, media monitoring, audience segmentation, campaign optimization, and personalized customer engagement. And from the perspective of the specifically Bosnia and Herzegovina and the unique challenges we are facing, first we have emerging market barriers. So developed markets rapidly integrate AI technologies, but in our paradigm or in our market, some of the general pitfalls of the digital transformations we didn't get right from the previous phases now impacting the adaptation of the newer technologies. And also we have generally contextually speaking about Bosnia, and because we represent, or B&H represents developing country or transition country with very complex political system, we also need to be aware of those constraints. About some data, we can say that from the IT sector's perspective, we have a promising growth with around 11% employment increase in 2024, which positioning B&H as an emerging hub for AI and IT talents. But we need to speak about those indicators or those data with some kind of the distance again, because those numbers, especially coming from the how to say, from the foreign companies which have their franchise or their parts inside of the B&H. So we cannot say that those numbers are coming from locally from the Bosnia perspective. We also have, of course, budget limitations for technology investments, science, capacity buildings, and huge research gaps, as I already mentioned, because in the case of digital transformation, we as a country are very, very behind of the average numbers from the region, so we need to have that in account. So research objectives for this particular paper is to investigate an AI adoption in B&H in total, but for this particular paper, it focuses the marketing sector from the Bosnia. So I'm interested in first awareness and adoption assessment, then application identification, so which AI tools they are using, benefits and the challenges evaluation, and how the revolution influencing factors determination. So that's like the four main focuses. And the significance of the research from my perspective is that there is no any original scientific work here in Bosnia regarding AI, except some of the measurements and indicators from the EU institutions. But in those scenarios, AI is just one of the items inside of the digital transformation, so we don't have any data. The theoretical framework I'm using is mainly technology organization environment, or TOE model. And I'm taking in account the technological context, organizational context, and environmental context, and trying to measure those three groups of the factors. So that's my main theoretical framework. Complementary theoretical perspective, and I'm trying to enrich the first and the main one, are the technology acceptance model, or TAM, and diffusion of innovation theory, which is very popular even today from the perspective of communication studies, from Rogers from 95, and the first one is even more classical, is from 89, from the Davis. And I'm using them just for complementary reasons, because I think in today's perspective they are kind of outdated, but they have some good sides even today, so I will try to incorporate them. My methodology, I will try to get a systematic data collection. So I will have a quantitative survey methodology. It's already in some kind of the final version, but as I said in the beginning, it's very challenging to perform the survey, because just one update or two updates from the major AI companies can shift generally the focus, or generally the paradigm. So I need to be aware of that, just not to research something which is already outdated. So it's very, very challenging. My target populations are marketing and PR agencies across Bosnia and Herzegovina engaged in advertising and public relation activities. Sampling strategy is representative sample ensuring geographic and size diversity. And my main focus is not so much on geographic, and it's more on size diversity, because I need to be able to see, are there any differences in between so-called huge agencies and maybe locally smaller agencies. And it will be mainly online questionnaires distributed to agency leaders and relevant personnel. And analytical methods will be okay for the groundwork, just descriptive statistics, but not just that. I will try to do correlation analysis to identify relationship between variables, and regression analysis to determine factors influencing successful or unsuccessful adoptions. It depends on the results. So I hope that there is a successful adoption, but we will see after the gathering of data. Those are expected benefits from the case of the generative AI, and I will use it just as a framework, not to overemphasize something in the beginning, but it's something from the global perspective. So the first assumption is operational efficiency, that automation of routine content creation tasks can generally influence the workplace and generally the work from the PR and marketing agencies. Second one is enhanced creativity, so AI-assisted ideation and concept generation. Third is improved client services, for example, enhanced personalization capabilities. Fourth is competitive advantage, and this is something that I'm personally the most interested, because all other factors can be, how to say, maybe based on individualistic approach, but competitive advantage, if there is any agency who can gain this advantage on the market, then we can say that it is because of the implementation of Gen AI. And anticipated challenges, reflects emerging market realities. So we have 4 groups: technology related, organizational barriers, environmental constraints, and ethical and quality factors. Current status, so as I said, data collection and analysis are currently underway. Preliminary findings will provide insights into the Gen AI adoption landscape among marketing and PR agencies in Bosnia. And as I said, I am not so interested to get a fast results or operational results because of the lack of those kind of research generally on in my country. I will rather sacrifice maybe some novelty in the research, but I would be more interested in to get something that is appropriate for the time we are experiencing, because the paradigm from the December 2024 until towards the end of 2025 shifted hugely. So I just need a proper window of measuring just to be able to measure the Gen AI impact, and not something that people thinks that chatbot or whatever they call that it is an AI. Expected outcomes, so comprehensive mapping of Gen AI awareness, adoption rates, and user patterns among B&H marketing and PR agencies, and application areas, so identifications of specific use cases and applications where agencies are deploying the AI. Also factor analysis. So I would like to determine the key technological, organizational, and environmental factors influencing adoption success, because it is not just one factor that influences the adoption of an AI. It's more complex, and that's why I'm interested in to getting really quality insights from the survey. And of course, comparative insights to compare maybe with global trends, and as I said already, in between local, smaller agencies and more, how to say, enterprise or corporate agencies inside of the Bosnia. And research timeline is, so data collections in progress. Then I will do a statistical analysis and results compilation and full findings to be announced. But from this perspective, I hope it will be finished until later this year, and hopefully during the January 2026. And I already said about expected contributions, so I will not go in detail right now. And this is some of the references. Thank you.